Welcome everyone to this solar eclipse forecast for March 8th and 9th of 2016. I'm Athen, and this is for Sidereal. If you are new to the channel, be sure to check out the link down below because the signs are different. All right, so a total solar eclipse here today and tomorrow in the astrology. Very powerful time of the year when we go through transformation. And all of these eclipses are essentially associated with the life path because they always deal with the north and south nodes. So this one is with the south node, which is about going into any areas of life that might need to be changed and might need to be brought into a sense of healthy balance so that we can have a clear direction and a clear purpose of our life path. So let's go and look at the graph and the chart in terms of where this is placed, what aspects are involved with it. It's actually involving a lot of aspects. There's a lot of planets here involved in the mix. But let's go ahead and start with the most fundamental elements of it first, which is the sign placement. So it's happening right on the cusp between Aquarius and Pisces. And this is, of course, that new moon type of energy, but very significant because of its placement and the eclipsing energy. So in terms of Aquarius, there is this seeing where we can change our life so we can have more freedom. You know, that's what Aquarius is really about. Breaking conventionality. New and original ways of expressing ourselves. New and original ways of doing things. So really asking ourselves, where have we in the past maybe not given enough attention to our true self? Where have we sacrificed things that wasn't in alignment with who we truly are? These are the kinds of perspectives that can be changed right now in terms of how we see it and what we can actually do to change, rectify, and move forward in this cycle. Now, this is a 6-month energy because we're going to come to the culmination point of this in September. So it's all about planting new seeds. And I think with this solar eclipse, really going within these 2 days to examine, to reflect, to meditate on where we can have this change so that we can have more freedom in our life. So that's the Aquarius side of it. Now, the Pisces side of it is, of course, on that deep spiritual nature. So this is where we can change our life so we can have more peace, more presence, more compassion. And so with this, it's all about surrender. You know, Pisces is the last of the Zodiac signs. It's where we come back into wholeness. We become aware of the vastness of the universe, the vastness of life in and of itself, and surrender to that process, surrender to the divine process. So it takes a tremendous amount of acceptance. It takes a tremendous amount of unconditionality to go along the life journey in this way, but it all starts with that willingness to change our perspective. So where have we in the past maybe not had that surrender, not had that willingness to go into the unknown, to have faith and trust? And what kind of perspectives can we change so that we can honor that and we can have more of that very important energy in our lives? So that's the sign placements generally. Now this is going to be, like I said, involving a lot of planets. It's going to be conjoining up to Chiron, opposing up to Jupiter, who's been very close to the north node, squaring up to Saturn, and sextiling up to Pluto. So in terms of the Chiron, there's healing. You know, and Chiron has recently gone into Pisces. So this is really healing our relationship with that unknown, with God, with the divine process. So with Chiron, and especially with the South Node, it really takes going within, deep exploration, and again, acceptance, because it's through that acceptance of where we might feel wounded, where we might feel inadequate, where we might have this uncertainty. It's through accepting that we have it is where the healing begins. And that's the big message with Chiron. This is a very new energy where now for quite some time, we're going to have Chiron here healing our connection to the vastness of that divine process. So healing is a big part of it. Going within is a big part of it to do that transformation. Now, in terms of this opposition up to Jupiter, this is seeing that maybe there's this rift between this change and what's actually possible. That's certainly the case because oppositions have this inclination towards it being separate, it being different, it being distinct from us. And us is represented by the sun and moon here. So we're going through this transformation, but on the opposite side of it, there's the possibilities. So it's understanding that this axis and any opposition is all about merging and really seeing that it is possible to actualize our joy, which is the Leo energy, It is possible to actualize that inner child, that true self, that self-expression. Now it is retrograde, so again, it's internalized right now. So it's good to reflect on that. And it's not exactly all out into the open. It's strong, but not all out into the open. It's going through a reflection. It's going through a modification with this. So understanding that, but at the same time, understanding that this whole life path is shifting with the North Node going into Leo to align us with our self-expression, our inner child, that creativity, playfulness. So understanding there's really no rift, but it does take that conscious understanding to see that our true self is the self that wants to have playfulness, joy, and express ourselves. And seeing what's possible can be actualized with a patient, balanced approach. Now, the patient approach comes in with Saturn. Saturn is squaring up to both of these positions. It's a T-square. So here's that patient and grounded approach to the future, to these unfoldments, and even to the healing and transformation and change. It's suggesting a long-term energy. You know, it's normally a long-term energy because it's 6 months, but Saturn is suggesting it might be longer. It might be larger. It might require a much bigger picture, or at least just requiring us to have that bigger picture, even if it is 6 months or less. So the key with this is, you know, Saturn is always showing us what we can do, and especially in a Fucus right now, what we can do that's really real to us, what's really true to us, which is the Fucus energy, and where we can start to build foundations in our life that are based on who we truly are in that sense. Now, the sextile up to Pluto is actually very supportive, and Pluto is supporting this area of the chart very much. So this is where we can feel, and this is a sextile, so it's just an opening, but it's certainly available. We can feel like there is opportunity for change, like change is possible. And in Sagittarius, it's all very adventurous, right? Changing our mind, changing old belief systems. That's what Pluto's all about, transformation of that adventurous spirit. And it's through seeing things in that new light, in terms of those possibilities, in terms of really accessing that sense of adventure, where we do have a lot of support with this. So like I said, it's involving a lot of different areas, but in a nutshell, I think just being open to change right now, particularly meditating on it in this early phase of it, particularly sitting with it, reflecting. You know, it's an eclipsing time. You know, the sun gets dimmed by our inner spiritual self, the moon. So that becomes prominent. We can gain messages, we can gain insight, but of that spiritual internal nature. And in the sense of where we can have that freedom, where we can have that peace. All right, so I hope you guys have a great solar eclipse. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.